Great morning, great morning, great morning. It is your girl, Pam Dorsey, CEO of Pam Dorsey Enterprises. I am a life pursuer strategist where I prepare women to not only discover their God-given purpose, but begin to walk in their God-given purpose. Life pursuer strategy sessions are coming. They are right around the corner, so stay tuned for that. I am everything purpose, everything passion, everything life. That's the three words that my business stands on. That's the three words that my brand stands on. Purpose plus passion equals life. When purpose and passion collide, when they kiss, when they marry, life begins. And not just any life, but the abundant life that God talks to us about in John 10:10. Today's message, we're going to be talking about, have you owned your story? Your story is significant. Your story is specific to you. No one else can walk a mile in your shoes, right? No one else can walk a mile in Pam Dorsey's shoes because God created them for me. He made my story specific to me, meaning every situation, every trial, every circumstance that I have dealt with in my life is specific to me. It had to be a part of my story in order to get here. It had to be a part of my story in order for God to get his glory. The reasoning behind my message today is I have been doing a lot of soul searching. I have been asking God to pull out anything that's within me that is making me unlike him and that it may be stagnating me or keeping me from my next place, from my next best move, right? Because my plan is to make my next move my best move. So with that being said, I thought about some things that I have gone through in the last few years. Some of you know I am the visionary behind Mix, Mingle, and Learn Women's Networking event. It's an annual event. So in 2016, I stand before the women as I get ready to do my portion of the motivational speaking for the event. And I stand in front of this room filled with beautiful women, all in the room in search of inspiration, motivation, empowerment, everything that the brand stands on. And I crumble as I began to tell my story. It did not come out how I wanted it to. It did not come out how I had written it out. It did not come out how I planned for it to. It didn't come out how I prayed for it to. So in the midst of me doing my speaking about me, about my story, I just boohoo. And what I said is, we all have a story to tell. And I have to get better at telling mine. And as I said those words, the tears flowed even more. Now picture it. This is me at my event, the event that God gave me to birth in this earth. And these women have come from all walks of life together in this place at my event. And I break down. That was one of the toughest moments in my life. It took me a while. God had to work with me to help me to get past that, to move past that and continue in the purpose that he gave me. And I'll go a little further. During this time, I had already started my self-development with the one and only Coach P, Precious Bevings. After this took place, and I'm in the coaching session with her, and we're talking about what happened at Mix, Mingle, and Learn, because she was my spotlight speaker at this particular event, again in 2016. So as we're talking about what happened, how I broke down, and what was going on, what was the emotion behind the tears, and why I felt like I failed, why I felt like I did horribly at my own event. And what she said has been life-changing. She said, Pam, you haven't owned your story. You can't tell a story that you have not owned. You have to fully embrace every single part of you, every piece of you, every story that has written your life up until this point. You have to fully own it. And until you do, you're always going to not do so well at telling your story. And I was like, well, doggone then. I guess that makes perfect sense, right? How do I get in front of a room full of people and talk about something that I have not fully embraced, something that I have not fully came into agreement with, that was a part of me? It was a part of my story. And again, it had to happen. That part of Pam Dorsey had to take place. The situation that I was attempting to talk to the ladies about, it had to take place in order for God to get his glory through my story, right? So when she said that, it was a game changer. It was a life changer, because from that day forward, my intention, my full focus was becoming okay with who I am, becoming okay with the things that had taken place and transpired in my life up until that moment. Whatever part of my story that I was attempting to talk to those ladies about, and whatever part of my story that I'm going to be talking to people about in the future, I had to be okay with it. I had to fully embrace it. I had to come into agreement with the fact that it happened. Deal with it. Deal with the emotions, deal with the feelings, deal with the hurt, deal with the overwhelm, deal with whatever it is that happened in those parts of my story until I can be okay and fully embrace those parts of my story, because they're all parts of me. They have to be a part of my story in order for God to get his glory. So have you fully owned your story? There lies the question for today. Thought to ponder, right? Have I fully embraced my story? And as bits and pieces of your story start to unfold, when they rise up, when you have feelings coming from nowhere and you're like, God, what is going on right now? Seek him and ask him to show you. Where is this coming from? We have to learn to go deep. We can't remain on the surface. We got to dig deep, go deep down and pull up all those wounds and all the hurt and the things that we've covered in dirt year after year after year. We got to dig deep. You got to go all the way to the root of a thing in order to get to it. In order to, first of all, discover it. When we uproot it, we got to learn to deal with it. We got to face it, confront it head on. And what is it? One of the songs say, oh, God, I won't let go until you bless my soul. God, I won't let go until you help me to heal this hurt. God, I won't let go until you help me to deal with my unforgiveness. Whatever the situation at hand may be, whatever is going on in your life at the time, whatever situation or whatever part of your life that God is revealing to you that you need to deal with it. Deal with it. Because you cannot move forward. You don't want to move forward until the healing has taken place fully. That is what allows you to embrace your story. That is what allows you to tell your story. And trust me, there are many that are waiting to hear your story. And guess what? You are not fully 100% authentically you if you cannot fully embrace every part of your story. Every part of your story matters. Someone needs to hear your story. Someone needs to know how you overcame. Someone needs to know that, oh yeah, Pam went through that. Pam lost this friend that she's had over 20 plus years and she's still able to stand. She still thrives for other relationships. Yes, that happened to Pam, and yes, Pam overcame it. She dealt with it. She deals with the hurts and the feelings and the wounds when they reappear and allows God to help her to heal those areas. It may be a process that you have to go through a time or two, but that's okay as long as the healing takes place. Fully authentic is what we want, right? 100% authenticity. Have you fully embraced your story? I'm your girl, Pam Dorsey, CEO of Pam Dorsey Enterprises. I am my brand, y'all. Purpose plus passion equals life. I'm just out here life pursuing, and I want y'all to join me. The 2019 theme, Life Pursuers theme, is this: living out loud. We came to get everything this hour, leaving absolutely nothing on the table. Visit PamDorsey.com to find out more about who I am, products, and services. Until next time, purple kisses.